Look at this beautiful cedar giant one. Ooh, look at those cheeks. I mean, those ruffles are crevices, grooves, those are some grooves to make the the emperor have a new groove, or grooves of sorts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding about that. But nature is beautiful. You can hear some of the birds, some unique ones here, singing pretty in a high pitch kind of tones. But another thing I want to mention, these right here. So, salmonberry in swamps, they grow along the ground like a vine. Like a vine grows around anything, creeps along the ground and whatnot, and then sprouts up from, the main stems, right? But yeah, these are really good for you. The red, I'm pretty sure the red in these, it's similar to like cinnamon, although cinnamon is thicker and it's more spicy, has more B vitamins and like, I don't know, minerals like magnesium that make it like spicy, right? Whereas this is a little more bitter and lighter. But look how flexible that thing is. Look how flexible that thing. I'm just trying to see if it looks clean enough to me. So when I first started using this, I would just use like a couple inches, right? But now I'm not afraid to use like, just more of it, up to 8 plus, more or less, right? However much I'm feeling. And then what you can do is you can mix this in with a salad, whatever you want to make, smoothie, fucking, people juice it, if that's your thing, then, do the juice. But these have a lot of good, the flavor isn't the very best, but I just gotta blow it clean. Looks pretty clean. So these are my confessions. I use Salmonberry, aka, what's the other name for it? Not thimbleberry. I think Salmonberry is the main one, but anyway. It has a very fuchsia, deep pink flower, and obviously the roe, I guess it's named after salmon because salmon has sometimes yellow eggs or something like that, and then the very bulbous, parts that surround the seeds are also yellow, right? So perhaps that's why it's called Salmonberry. That's where it derives its name. Look at that branching. It's cool to hold green up to the sun or various angles. You can see it glow. Sometimes it even seems like transparent almost, or translucent is the right word. But so these are my confessions. I've done a lot of things in my day. A lot of things go unsaid, and gotta get it off your chest, right? So without naming names, getting into he said, she said, tattletales, snitching on each other, and starting that kind of nonsensical back and forth. We want better back and forth, right? Strong and more pleasurable. Anyways, let me enjoy this for a second. So there's been some people, in my in my younger years, I've experimented with drinking, because it's like a feeling, you know, initially when you're partying with your friends and stuff. It is a good way to kind of mix and get into a state of mind where you're just like willing to try new things, and it's kind of it has its time and place, so to speak. But then when you become wiser and you realize, you know, certain things like using things from nature that are more apropos, say for our health, more fitting, better at keeping our skin smooth, our joints, you know, flexible and whatnot. I'm a testament to this. I've had a lot of, you know, wrist injuries and all sorts of kind of like mishaps, and you gotta bounce back, right? And one of the ways is by using various types of you know, vital herbs and things with a lot of refreshing vitamins that rebuild all your cartilage. The vitamin A does that, right? And also helps with your you know, the phlegm and stuff that you have to excrete from the toxins that are sprayed in the air these days. Today is actually very beautiful. I'll show you a little panorama. Ooh. See that glimmering golden star of ours. Never fails to make an eventual appearance, you know. I'm just gonna ramble on about my wisdom, you know, what I've accrued over the years. Oh my goodness. And you know, some experiences, say when you're trying like harder liquors and stuff like that, makes you want to try like to, you know, test your luck with women more, because you feel like you have more power, or gets you in a state of like almost like demonic lust or something like that. This might sound weird or something like that, but anyways, there's people in the system that want to hold people back from expressing themselves, kind of like, you know, a lumberjack wants to, you know, come through, and of course, rightly so. If there's thousands and hundreds of thousands of trees, and there's gonna be new ones popping up. Seeds are very fine, and they'll float with the wind and be carried around by birds and various creatures. But you know, we have to be careful how much we're, you know, moving and kind of like trying to control nature, right? Because trying to hold people back, it may seem smart, like for your team or something, like you're winning, but truly that kind of point of view, that kind of perspective is very small-minded, very the word is nullified, and you know, and I see through the ploys of, you know, using women to kind of control men, and like knowing that men don't want to hit or use violence on a woman, which is right. You know, we're supposed to use our creative abilities to create, not destroy, harm, hurt, or do any of the worst kind of things. We want to strive for the best, for the top, for the, you know, upward spirals, you know, upper. But the thing is, it seems like so much of nature has been transplanted and just like destroyed, so it's almost hard to see where the spirals are that we can make, you know, find our way up. But while I was mentioning that this There's another, this one is fresh. I have not picked this yet. This Satin Berry, you can see the little thorns on it. These don't really prick much. They're just like a slight deterrent. They become more pronounced later, and then it's kind of dangerous then, right? It can hurt when you're touching the sides of it. You just gotta be careful. And what I'm saying is the vine plants, right? Vine plants are way, I'm not saying like go crazy with some ivy and juice like 4 ounces and see what happens when you drink it. But what I'm saying is if you use like maybe 4 leaves, mix in the typical stuff that you've always grown up with, whether that's like spinaches and lettuce and just typical common things, right? Then that confluence, that mixture, that fusion, we want a good fusion, not confusion, where we just mix in the bemused way. We want to be fusing consciously and with the best kind of fluids and juices and things of nature in the right amounts. And that's pretty much what I'm kind of trying to convey here, is that you can use different modalities or ways to enhance your own health, whether that's simply being in the woods or like any kind of green environment like this, and foraging things in small amounts in ways that will strengthen you, empower you to become better in various ways that you envision yourself to in growing and in being able to move to and to feel. Because believe it or not, plants do have energetic fields, and it's been proven by science. So when you're going through the woods, like, you can sometimes, if you're sensitive, feel that certain bush has a strong energy aura or field. If you touch it, sometimes you can feel some of its energy, and if you resonate with it, you can feel its ecstasy, which is where you want to be, which a lot of humanity has lost because of the strife and various illusions of just separation, when really we all have the same fluid that flows through us all. That's a creative force, creative essences. And I know it's hard to like share that because it's so strong of itself. It's like trying to weigh something that is constantly changing, like say like a river flowing through a bucket that has 2 holes in it, and then of course there's going to be different amounts of water going through. That's a bad example, but what I'm saying is, like, we gotta stay focused on using nature properly. And I should call this my confessions. Yeah. So I confess I've drank some hard stuff in my time, and it's made me want to be that guy that's groping on the big booty mama. But what can I say? It's just it is what it is. I've been through that. It's amazing, to experience and all those different. We're supposed to experience all sorts of various emotions, and then find where we like to kind of hover and stay at and be stable and at our best, and for longevity's sake, and for of course family as well and whatnot. And I really do like to treat every living thing almost like his family, you know. Of course, like insects, I don't really see myself um, akin to insects because they have like 6 legs. That's weird, you know. Or like centipedes with 100, and then millipede even more. Like those things I do not like. And usually I have mercy. I'll just brush them aside. But if there's too much, you know, encroaching in my living space, then you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? But at the same time, I think people have to enjoy all the variety of nature and really respect the all the nuances, you know. Learn about all the shapes of the seeds, how they form, where they are in the flowers and or in the pods, you know. Because as I look into nature, I see so much variety, and I think a lot of the children these days aren't taught that. They're taught, oh yeah, you know, you can grow some beans in a cup and then plant it in the ground. You know, that's what we learn in elementary school. That's pretty much all we learned: beans, and I think there was like maybe tomatoes or peas and maybe carrots. And there's like at least 4 different crops, but there's probably more nowadays. I've been to a school. I've seen like, you know, gardens and stuff, which is a positive repercussion or not. But point being, I think people need to make that next step to, you know, really cherish our environment, cherish, uh, you know, like look at this bark. It's a beautiful color right here. See that? Red. Bet you anything this. I mean, if you peel the first layer, the layer underneath, I bet it has some kind of use, you know, when it comes to using like tea. I think it's a birch. Interesting, interesting tree. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. Ferns are high in iron and various minerals. There's these weird little, I think these develop little berries. Those are for more like rodents and deers and those kinds of creatures. But you know where I'm at, 18 minutes. Oh, that's good. Maybe one more confession. So I do confess I have been a fool. I've paid for things like I shouldn't have, you know, for gimmicks and just trying to help people with money because before, when I didn't have money, I didn't know what it was to have money. So when I had it, I was like, oh, I want to share it. I want to make the most of it, right? I wasn't savvy enough to like just put it in savings, you know, that kind of thing, and project like my own, you know, vision of like my own, you know, my own little empire and room and, you know, house that I'm gonna own and that kind of thing. I was thinking of like, how can I share and really live the best kind of life with the money I have and whatnot. Oh my goodness. So I've paid into, you know, like different scams and stuff like that, but it's funny how you live in there, and I'm sure a lot of the youth these days also do that. And you know, I've banged fucking Russian lady, you know what happened though? I had this stuff, it's called pine pollen, eh? I just want to tell one story about this. It's I only remember like the best kind of times. So this pine pollen is like in this little cylindrical plastic supplemental container, right? And it's really yellow golden color, and there's a lot of it too. I brought it when I was traveling, and just one pinch, I swear, If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. Make sure it's like good quality. You know, check the quality. Make sure it's like golden, bright, and tastes good and whatnot. Use your senses to always know, uh, if something has good quality, integrity, uh, and rejuvenative, you know, attributes or properties. Right? Properties is the right word. So I took one pinch and I swear I got into a mode like just like horn doggy, just instant erection. I don't want to say the exact word, but yeah. And then straight to the shower, fingering the hole and the whole nine, But I don't want to say too much. And it was funny. There's a lot of noise going on. You could hear the whole the hotel, the other bed shaking and whatnot. It was crazy. Some things are funny. Like you realize you cause like a reaction, or someone it was trying to like one up you and be like, oh look, I'm louder and whatnot, like that. So anyways, that was a funny time. I even surprised myself sometimes. Like my point is like things in nature will surprise you. You don't, and you should take things in stride cautiously, but at the same time you want to really enjoy them, as the gifts that say flowers are. The flowers that have the the beautiful petals and whatnot, that's the gift from the plant wanting you to share. Excuse me. Specifically from plants wanting you to spread the seeds and enjoy the essence of the rising of the regenerative, or like that kind of sexual reproductive activity of the flower and the plant rising up. Usually it rises up or it projects out from the root, from the core, right, where the seeds originate, right? And so, excuse me, my goodness, those Salmonberry really get me airing out some of my digestion. But anyways, just thought I'd make a mellow post like that, looking pretty fly. I'm feeling good, saving my juice, you know what I'm saying? I recommend you guys just, have your patience, save what you have. And even things get crazy, like, as things in nature do get to a you could say supernatural level, say in summer, like that temperatures get intense and things happen, right? And you just gotta like be cool with all the ups and downs, and just learn how to be in harmony and in step with it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, because there's a little disparate, too much disparate people. It's maybe because of just like kind of upbringing that's makes people view the world as fearful and not loving, when actually Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, as the nurturing, nourishing kind of beauty that she is, always wants to see practically everyone thrive, unless someone's being an absolute a-hole and just like an a-hole douchebag, and not really creating anything of value, or doing everything that will kind of like benefit themselves and save the children of tomorrow. But that's pretty much all I gotta say. Some words to ponder, you know. Don't want to say too much. Don't want to make this too long. Gotta get back to it. Check out those swamp. What are those called? Swamp. I think those are called swamp weeds or something like that. They have a yellow flower. Be careful of those. Those are very like spicy, acrid. So once a word of caution as well with flowers. Like I said, they're very beneficial sometimes. Say roses, which is one of the most aromatic, of the flowers, and one of the most you could say rising of energies that is imbued from the petals, using the petals of the flower, right? And then I think there's seeds in the center too of some. And then, but some flowers are toxic, so you got to use like just the nectar or just the pollen, and then you'd be getting giddy, doing your thing. Anyway, that for now.